All right, hello once again, Jeff Scott of Rankin Technical College, and I have been writing a series of miles per gallon JavaScript programs based on the content that's in our textbook, JavaScript 6th edition by Sasha Vodnik and Don Gosselin. So far, I have gone through Chapter 1, where we did an introduction to JavaScript, where we simply wrote everything inside of our main routine. Then in our last program, we separated things out. So in other words, what we did was we modularized the program. Now in this particular chapter, I'm writing 3 different programs. First, I'm going to use a control flow where we're actually going to start putting in error checking. So if the miles per gallon is not numeric, or it's less than 1, or it's greater than 1,000, we're going to reset the value to the default miles, which was 200. If the gallons used was not numeric, or it was less than 1, or it was greater than 50, we're going to reset it to 10. So we're going to do that first. All right, so I'll come back and talk about the other things that we're going to do in just a couple minutes. Now, let me open. Okay, so we've got the same program that, the same interface, etc., that we've had previously. And right now, if I run the program, it works because I copied everything from the program before. Again, the problem is when we put in this. So that's what we're going to fix right now. So again, I want you to understand that what we've got written in here right now is the same exact program as what we had before. I'm going to make changes to it. So we started out with a very simple program with no error checking, where everything was inside of main, and you saw how easy it was to break our program. Then in the second version, which looked when it ran exactly like the first, all right, we modularized the program. So we took each routine and put it into its own function. It still was possible, though, to break the program. All right, that's the problem. So what we're doing in this particular example is we're going to write 3 different iterations. This is the iteration we're in right now. So we're adding if statements, and we're demonstrating elementary exception handling. An exception is when your program does something it's not supposed to do. So that's what we're doing right now. So let's jump into this. And the changes we need to make will be in here, and they'll be in here. All right, so now we've read in, or we've inputted our miles. But our miles may not be within range. So again, if the miles driven, which we called miles, is non-numeric or is out of range. In other words, less than 1 or greater than 1,000, reset the miles driven, or miles, which is what we called it, to the default value, which remember was def miles, or 200. All right? All right. So if is NaN, which it means if is not a number, miles. So again, if we put something in there that was non-numeric, or, oops. So if we put something in there that was non-numeric, or our miles driven is less than our minimum miles, or our miles driven is greater than our maximum miles, well, we know if we've done any of those, we did something incorrect. We've got a bad input. So if that's the case, we're going to give the user an alert so they know that they did something wrong. So we're going to put an alert here that says invalid input. Miles reset to def miles. And then we actually have to do it. So miles equal def miles. All right. Now, we only know that this works if we run the program. All right. We put in a bad value for, well, I guess I still have something wrong. Main is not defined. Why do I keep getting that? Oh, I know what the problem is. I always do this. I don't know why, but I always do. I need one more paren here. One nice thing about this editor, notice red, 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 and red, red. Okay, so let's try that again. Now I'm going to put garbage in here. All right, and when I run this, notice invalid input miles reset to 200. And it has been set to 200. Now I've got to do a similar thing in here with my gallons. So to try to make this a little faster for us, I'm going to grab everything that I did here for the comment. Oops. And I'm going to grab all of this, every bit of that, copy it to the clipboard, and paste it in right here. All right. So now, instead of miles driven, we want to say gallons used, and gallons is non-numeric or out of range less than 1 or greater than 50. Then we want to set the gallons used, or gallons, to the default def gallons of 10. Now be very leery when you do a lot of copy and paste like I did, because if one time in here I forget to change a gallons, or I forget to change this to gallons, you can see how easy it would be to get the wrong answer. All right, let's take it for a spin, and hopefully I haven't made any mistakes. So let's run it, and this time we'll leave all of our inputs blank. So notice it's blank. Good, it was reset to 200. We'll leave this one blank. Good, it was reset to 10, and we get our value. So now we've done our idiot proofing. Notice also when we run this, I'm going to put in a negative value for each one of these, and it's resetting. And another negative value, and it's resetting, and now again it works. If we put in numbers that are too big, it resets, and it runs. So now we've done at least a minimal amount of error checking in here. All right? Let's see. I didn't want that. I wanted gallons used. That should have said between. All right. So that should have said gallons between. And this should have said also between. I'm constantly tweaking these programs as I write them, so. All right, let's run it one more time to make sure I didn't break anything. If we put in valid values, of course it works. All right, and it also works now with invalid values. Now, I'm going to break it up here because in the next iteration of this program, what I'm planning on doing in the next iteration is I'm going to come in. So we've written iteration 1. Now I'm going to put this into a while loop. And what that means is I'm going to be able to run the program again and again. Right now it's kind of a pain in the butt to have to keep running it the way I'm running it. All right, so I'll be back with that presentation. These are going to be shorter, but I'm going to come back with that in just a couple minutes.